All right, guys. You know, this thing has been going in a fever pitch. Yes, the Washington Nationals about to go in overdrive. Let's talk about it. Let's go. This is DJ Wolf Live. What you hear in the background is a little pitter patter of our precious little mutt. Anyway, this is your boy DJ Wolf Live talking tonight about a couple of things. My primary topic really is about the Washington Nationals, man. It's at a crazy ass fever pitch like I've never heard before. I mean, people here have been going nuts all over the place all week, really, for the past couple of weeks, to tell you the truth. I've never seen anything like this since the Capitals won 2 years ago. And the Mystics didn't even get as much fanfare. And they won this year, too. The Mystics just won their first championship a few weeks ago. And they didn't get this much fanfare. But the Washington Nationals is something else. You know, baseball was my first love since around 1969. Unfortunately, I never got to play Little League Baseball. Not necessarily due to any fault of my own, because I always wanted to play. My folks knew it, but that's another story. But I pursued trying to start my own little baseball team when I was a kid, when I was like 8, 9 years old. We were called the Cleveland Hard Hitters, and we played these other guys on another street. Played a couple of games, that was about it. Right in the backyard of this once house that was sitting there that turned to a landfill. We played across there. Right out of something out of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, to be honest. But anyway, I really enjoyed that moment. But the first time I actually went to a baseball game was back about 1969, 1970, something like that. My uncle took me. This was before my brother was born. I'll never forget that. The fanfare, the hot dogs, man, the beer brewing. I didn't drink it at the time. The popcorn popping, man. It was just exciting. You know, unfortunately, that's the one thing me and my father never got to do was actually go to a sports game together. I don't know, for some reason he just didn't. I mean, he played sports and stuff like that a little bit, but we never got to do that. Oh, I had always wanted to, even as a child. But my uncle took me a lot. We went to quite a few games together for years. Almost to around the time I went to the Army. And I just think, after that. But nevertheless, I'm happy about the Washington Nationals. I took my son to his first baseball game in 2005 when the Nationals, this is a true story, when the Nationals played their first home opening night, 2005. I don't remember the team that they played, but I remember we had caught the Metro from wherever I was parked. I think I was parked in D.C. over in Anacostia, and we took it over to Stadium Armory on the Blue Line, and that's when the Nationals were still playing. Matter of fact, when they first came down here, and they were playing over at the old RFK Stadium. And the future is currently up in the air with that right now because it's not being utilized by the Redskins or the Nationals or the Washington, D.C. United, which has their own, stadium now, along with the Nationals and the Redskins. Now, but we went over there and we watched our first game. We didn't have the best seats in the house. We had some decent seats. I think it was like out in the outfield somewhere in the upper stands. But it was pretty cool. I was actually proud to take my son. By that time, my son was just getting ready to start junior high school. Matter of fact, I think he was just getting ready to start. Either he was just getting ready to start, or he was about to finish junior high school. That's what he was about to finish his last year in junior high. Anyway, so we got to go. So I've been a follower of the Nationals for a very long time. And I'm proud to say that I followed them for the last several years through the ups and downs, good and bad times. The last game that I actually went to go see the Nationals was right after my son had attended college after his first year out of school. It was first year in college, actually. And actually, it was the second year in college. No, I take that back. He just finished his second year in college, or was about to. And he came home for spring break or something like that. I know it was during the mid-season. So it was after he finished his second year of college. And we were sitting at that hot-ass sun in the bleachers. Never do that again. Where to get that hot, get some shade. Because we the kind of folks, at least I'm the kind of folks, that can't sit in the hot sun. Matter of fact, he got so hot, he had to go to the upper stands to cool off, which is what I should have done. I should have just gave my seats up. I would never buy seats in that part of the outfield in the bleachers ever again. Especially on no hot day like that. It was hot as hell out there. Never do that again. Anyway, that was the last time I had been at that game in 9 years. I was planning on going this year. And I probably should have went. The Nationals have struggled this year. By the end of May, this document, you can Google it, they were 19-31. Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you, right around the time I remember they were struggling hard. I didn't think they had the snowball's chance of going anywhere this year when I found that out. They were 19-31. Think about it. They had to be at least 6 games out of first place, if not 7. But they were way out at the time. So, all to get a wild card. And they got their wild card. And I think they started out with the Dodgers, a wild card series, and they went to play beat St. Louis in dramatic fashion. And now they're on top of the heap in the second game of the World Series, beating out Houston for the second day in a row. The final score with that last night was 12-3. And they're talking about it right now. I should put on the captions.
That's right. Nurses, staff, and parents of NICU babies and children.
Accessibility shortcuts, 8 items, voice guide.
All right, forget it. Okay. All right. Now. Boy. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. I was watching the local news. I was trying to get some information. They were talking about Nats' biggest fans. Boy, they're going nuts. They actually dressing up babies and washing the Nationals' clothes and everything else. It's nuts. But nevertheless, what that baby so cute. Oh, look. Anyway, but they're on the brink of capturing the first World Series in well over 80 years. I'm proud of them. And I'm not going to lie to you. When I first heard that they won that first World Series, I got emotional. Because I may not be the biggest Nationals fan, but I was a big-time supporter of baseball here in D.C. for many years before they brought the Nationals here in 2005 from the former team that was the Montreal Expos. And I never got much to see as far as my old team, the Cleveland Indians, which is my hometown team. And I went to one game in 2004, the first time I had been to an Indians game in 30 years. And I didn't get to see much of them over the years after that when I went home. And I went home several times and I didn't hardly get to see them that much. But I got to see a few of the Nationals games. I'm going to start back supporting the Nationals probably next year because nobody in my house like to go. That's another story. But anyway, nevertheless, I'm proud to have been and continue to be a Nats fan. But I did get emotional because I know I put in some years myself going to Nats games, listening to them on the radio and watching them on television throughout the good and the struggles. And now they're on top of the heat. They're all about to clinch this month. They're 2 games away from becoming world champion baseball team. 2 games. That's their number. Crazy, ain't it? For a team that was 19-31 at the end of May. Okay, about almost halfway through the season. To come back and be a wild card team. And turn out to be a surprisingly strong wild card team at that. When they went to the wild card series to play against Los Angeles, I think, was considered like the number one stunner. Man, they were. They were the number one team to beat. The number one team overall, I think. Something like that. I think Houston was for the American League. And I think L.A. was in the National League number one stunner. And the Nats beat them. They called hell, but they beat them. But there is a lesson there. And I did a podcast on this before, but I want to continue talking about that. There is a lesson to be showed. You could be down at 4th and goal, in football reference, of course, and still achieve greatness. Like their saying goes, don't give up the fight, finish the fight. That's what you got to do. Throughout life, figuratively, you have to do that. You have to not start the fight and finish it. Figuratively. In other words, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals. If there was anything to learn from the Washington Nationals doing what they're doing right now, it's that they never gave up. That's probably why I got so emotional thinking about that. Because I spent my life never giving up. There's times I just wanted to just toss in the towel, man. Like, I never wanted to quit. One thing I can say about my dad, man, my dad fought the good fight all the way to the end. God bless his soul, man. And I'm still reeling from it. I'm not going to lie. It was October. He's been dead for a few months now, and I still haven't gotten over it. I'm telling you, it's like somebody said, you never get over the pain. You never get over the hurt. I'm still hurt by it. You know, I think it was either today or yesterday, I was listening to some jazz music, and I got to a point, man, I almost cried at work, man. Think about it. On my desk at work, I actually have a picture of my dad that was printed out from the obituary, the church program. And I just never, it's just, I don't know. It's like a bad dream that you can't wake up from. Except it's not a dream. And it ain't good. It's just real. It's just an emptiness I feel, man. I do. He was a fan of the Washington Nationals. He told me that personally. So I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm going to be in it for the fight for the Nationals. Not only for the Nationals, but for me and my memory of my father, because my father was a big fan of the Nationals. He did. He talked about them quite often. And quite fondly of them, too. He was a big fan of Steven Strasburg. So I'm in it. I'm in it with them. And I'm going to stay in it with them until they finish the fight. Because that's what it's about. That's what we're taught in life. Never give up. You know, addressing the issue head on and staying in and hanging in it till you achieve. That's a lesson that can be learned by all. Okay, guys. Just wanted to do this quick podcast. I know it was about 15 minutes long, but I just had to get some time in to get some stuff off my chest. This is DJ Wolf, and I'm out.